Okay, welcome everybody to our metabolic reset call. I am Andrea Lehman, if we haven't met, and I'm joined by my sister-in-law, Angela Lehman. We help in leadership with the Living Well Now team. And so here we were having conversations a few weeks back. Some of you participated in the metabolic reset with us in November, December, a little bit in January. Some of you, this is going to be totally new to you when you're like, what's the metabolic part of this reset? I've heard of the 14-day reset, perhaps. Anyway, a lot of people have started doing balance and burn in the last 2 months. And I would say that it's about 50-50. It's probably 60-40 in terms of people who are losing weight versus people who they're having non-scale victories, but they're not seeing the weight budge. All right. And so Angie and I were having a conversation, and I said, you know what? I think we need to teach this metabolic reset, like the primal eating with this to people who are on balance and burn and aren't seeing the scale budge and are wanting to add in a little bit of something extra. And lo and behold, this metabolic reset, if you have the Life Steps app, you have actually access to all this material we're sharing tonight. They came out with this metabolic reset class. And so I said, let's teach this. And so really there's probably three categories of people who are joining tonight or who are watching this on replay. Either you are, brand new to the metabolic reset and to the 14-day reset, and you just are looking for maybe you've been kind of out of the health thing for a while and you're like, I just need some sort of reset to get me back to clean eating, to moving my body daily. And yeah, if I can lose, a few pounds in the process, reduce a little inflammation, sleep better, feel better, sign me up for that, right? Okay. So that would be the first kind of person. The second kind of person is the person who has done the balance and burn and they haven't seen any weight change. And so this would be something that they could add in, right? They they joined or they started balance and burn because they wanted weight loss. And they may be seeing some good benefits to it, but they haven't seen the actual scale budge. Turning to this kind of eating may be a really good plan for you to help see the numbers start to turn. And then the third kind of person is the person who actually, yes, they want to lose weight. All right. Maybe maybe they that's their main intent is to lose weight. It's not just for like a reset to just feel better and to get back into habits, but they want to lose weight. And they don't have a problem losing weight necessarily. Um, I'm thinking of the person that's maybe not middle-aged, doesn't have insulin resistance, can lose weight when they start eating well, right? Um, they may choose to do this metabolic reset with the Ningxia Red for the specific reason of shedding pounds. Okay, so I'm just gonna just so you see it. Here's the person who just needs like a reset to just get back to healthy living. They don't necessarily have weight to lose. Metabolic reset, awesome. It's going to help you refocus. Here's the person who doesn't relate, they haven't been trying to lose weight for years and not able to. They just maybe haven't been making good choices, but now they want to lose weight and they know they can if they focus. Metabolic reset for you with the Ningxia Red. And then there's the third kind who you've tried everything to lose weight. All right. You're doing balance and burn. It's doing some good things for you, but you're still not seeing the scale budge. Adding in this eating and maybe the Ningxia Red as well. Okay. But adding in this eating plan for you. Okay. So just wanted to make sure so we know there's people coming at this from all different ways. And I'm going to turn it over to you to get us started.
Yeah. So just so we're clear, the Balance and Burn system was released early access in December. And following our call tonight, you can actually listen to an unrecorded testimonial call of people telling their experience using the system. Many people have been on it now 30, 60 plus days and have some really great results to talk about. And so just full disclosure, we're talking about the metabolic reset today, but this is also an option for you to layer into your body's processes as well. So, first of all, why even think about a reset for your nutrition habits, for your healthy habits, for all of that, especially in March when it is the beginning of spring in a lot of places? Maybe here in Arizona, we feel it's summer knocking on our door and we're ready to start moving again. But research actually shows that a large percentage of adults show signs of metabolic dysfunction, including insulin resistance, like Andre was just talking about, poor blood sugar control, or chronic low-grade inflammation. Most women are told to eat less and move more in order to see results. So this isn't about that. This is not that advice can actually feel impossible to sustain. This is about regulating our bodies better. Your metabolic system is how your body converts food into usable energy. So when it's working well, your energy feels steady and not drops. Your cravings are manageable, your sleep improves, and your hormone functions more predictably. Your hormones function more predictably. So many people have already given us those early results. We'll talk about that at the end, using Balance and Burn to help with some key ingredients to make that happen. But at the center of this system is insulin, a hormone that helps move glucose from your bloodstream into your cells. So when we eat frequently, rely heavily on refined carbohydrates, or underconsume protein, the body may need to release insulin more often. So over time, then this reduces insulin sensitivity. So the goal of the 14-day metabolic reset is simple: improve blood sugar stability, support insulin sensitivity, increase metabolic flexibility, and build habits that are sustainable. So again, not a medical treatment, not advice to replace what you've been working on with your healthcare professional, but please take some of what we're saying today and report it back and try it. We really, when Andrea said, I think you started talking about this with me in July, and I was like, oh, Andrea, that sounds so restrictive. How will I ever be able to have my chocolate cake and eat it too? So let's talk about why blood sugar balance matters on that next slide.
And let's talk about how this is, I do not believe that this strict diet has to be something that people live forever. I believe that for people who are really in a state of insulin resistance and high blood sugar, once you get things dialed down and back where it should be, then you can, step outside of it a little bit and slowly add in, some more carbs and have your cake once in a while, right? And eat it too. But for a time, some of us need to just do extra healing to get the body and metabolism working again. And so this eating plan is really good at doing that. All right, so let's talk just blood sugar basics. So when blood sugar is on a roller coaster, up and down, energy crashes, cravings spike, fat loss feels really, really hard. And when it's stable, when you bring that blood sugar into balance, you feel much calmer, you feel clear, you feel satisfied with the food that you're eating. And so, blood sugar, also called blood glucose, is the body's main fuel energy source, but it has to stay in a really tight range to keep you feeling your best. And so when you're eating foods like carbs, lots of sugar, snacking a lot, your blood sugar rises, okay, in your blood. And in response, your pancreas releases insulin. And that insulin comes and it carries that sugar into cells. Well, if you keep eating lots of carbs and lots of sugar, lots of snacking over and over again, and there's so much blood sugar, like so much sugar in the blood, then that insulin, as it's shoving it into the cells finally say enough, like we're full, we don't need any more glucose. And so it can't get in. And that is what insulin resistance is. So now the body's pumping out more insulin, but it's not getting the sugar into the cells, and so it's staying in the blood. All right. And so when that happens, we have fat storage, especially around the belly. We have energy crashes, brain fog, we have cravings, we have inflammation, we have hormonal imbalance, the list goes on. So the goal with this eating plan and this reset specifically is to stabilize your blood sugar. It's to lower your body's need for insulin and to teach your cells to begin listening to the insulin again, right? Because it's a more balanced response. So we do this by focusing on protein first, healthy fats, low oxalate veggies, and powerful antioxidants like those in Ningxia Red. Plus movement, okay, movement like walking and like doing squats that sends sugar into the muscles instead of storing it as fat. The stable blood sugar means more stable energy, fewer cravings, better hormone health, long-term fat burning without the roller coaster.
So you can take a picture of this slide in particular if you want to screenshot this. The reset blueprint is focused on eating 3 protein-centered meals daily, avoiding the grazing and snacking, walking consistently, especially after meals, strength-focused movement like squats. In fact, in our eating group that we've been coaching through the last few months, we've been encouraging people to start with 10 to 12 squats after every meal to help with the digestion, to help with the blood sugar, to help your pancreas do what it was meant to do. Also, staying hydrated, prioritizing sleep, drinking your Ningxia Red daily, and then you can also add in that layer, like we talked about, that metabolic signaling with the balance and burn system. So the goal is to retrain your body to shift efficiently between its fuel sources, using glucose when needed and stored fat when appropriate. This is called metabolic flexibility. So Ningxia Red is the antioxidant and polyphenol support that helps reduce oxidative stress, which is a factor associated with metabolic dysfunction. Whereas balance and burn, if you choose to layer that in, this enhances the reset by focusing specifically on glucose regulation, gut biome support, insulin signaling pathways. And we're actually going to talk more about the balance and burn system during our own testimonial call coming up on March 18th. So I won't go into all of that detail now, but just understand that these ingredients in the system are actually not replacing food. Like balance and burn is not intended to be a filler or a protein anything. That's not what it's for. It's an amplification of the metabolic improvements your habits are creating, not from restriction, but from the new rhythm that you're establishing in your body. So when your body knows when food is coming and what kind of fuel it's getting, it will relax. And that was the part that I had to trust the process, and started at the end of October, recognizing for myself that just because I was going to say no to the extra handful of, what was I having? Extra handfuls of chocolate covered almonds, for example, chocolate covered popcorn, chocolate covered pretzels. I could go on, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? Just the one more little grab. What I started realizing is when I followed drinking the Ningxia Red as kind of indicated by the 14-day reset. We'll talk about that in a second. Focusing on protein first at every time I went to snack or eat. Walking 20 to 30 minutes daily, adding in that layer of strength weightlifting that I had been doing before without the results. And then limiting those ultra processed foods and added sugars, my body started to heal from the inside out. So think about this being something that you are helping teach or reteach your body a healthy metabolism, a healthy mindset, and then healthy momentum. Andrea is going to talk next about gut love and another layer of the all-important ferments.
Okay, now you either love them or you hate them, but it is a part of this reset, and it's an important part. I will tell you that there were days where I forgot the ferments and I was not eliminating well the next morning. So if you're going to do this metabolic eating, you want to make sure that you do include the ferments. And I would also encourage the prebiotic fiber, Young Living's prebiotic daily prebiotic fiber. 1 scoop of that daily if you have it, or just order it with your Ningxia as well. Super helpful because you're not getting a ton of fiber in this eating plan. Okay, with it being focused on animal proteins and low oxalate veggies, those veggies do have some fiber, but you're not getting a ton of it. You're getting a little bit of fiber in the Ningxia Red as well, but that but the ferments do help your gut to just digest. They're taking some of the pressure off of your digestive system, and they start to help digest the food as well. So when you're looking at ferments, you're looking at things like sauerkraut, kimchi, pickles, as long as they are pickles that are naturally fermented. So you want to pay attention to raw and unpasteurized when you buy your ferments. You want to make sure they're refrigerated, and you want to make sure that they're made without vinegar, sugar, or preservatives. I get from Costco, they have in the refrigerated section, they just have a big thing of sauerkraut. It's a raw sauerkraut. That's what I get. And I do just, it's not a lot. Like I take a spoonful each meal and just throw it in. I started mixing it in with my eggs in the morning. You can't taste it much when you mix it in. I'm to the point now where I don't mind it. I used to really not enjoy sauerkraut, but it has grown on me and it is really, really helpful in the process. So that's, yeah, a little bit of the gut love of this 14-day reset.
Oh, oh, I missed this part in my notes. Okay. So green and clean, low oxalate veggies that nourish. So vegetables actually are helping provide that fiber that a protein forward meal could be missing. So it also is providing micronutrients and phytonutrients that are essential for metabolic health. So you're pairing protein, fiber, and polyphenols, berberine support with the balance and burn, and the antioxidants. Then you get to address multiple metabolic pathways simultaneously. So just to clarify, low oxalate veggies are not potatoes, for the record. They're not rice, and they're really not legumes or beans either. So just so if you think about your fresh vegetables, right? Your fresh greens, broccoli, really any. I was just really kind of focused on any other vegetable except for potatoes, because in my house, Jerry Seckert grew up in Wisconsin, and so as my husband, that was the hardest thing for him to break up with. But we just stopped serving them altogether. And once in a while, maybe once a week, we would treat ourselves to a sweet potato, just for a little extra carb starch. But the low oxalate veggies are the ones that nourish. And if for those of you who are asking for specific recommendations, and you're a part of our team, make sure that you reach out to the person who invited you tonight so that you can be in our group where we're going to teach all of these different protein forward, low oxalate veggie recipes and ideas that we can share with you on Facebook. So look for those. I know we've had some questions in the comments about that already. All right, Andre, you want to tell everybody what you told me about coffee?
Okay, coffee, tea, and your daily sips. All right, so here's the deal with coffee. You can have it if you want it. The recommendation is to have it black and do not have it on an empty stomach. If you're going to have coffee during the reset, have it after you've had breakfast, okay? And I know that's hard for a lot of people. A lot of you have probably done like intermittent fasting and you go all morning and you just like live on your coffee. What black coffee on an empty stomach does is it raises cortisol. And when you raise cortisol, you raise blood sugar. And that's exactly the opposite of what we're trying to do. So if you can't go without your coffee, just make sure that you are having it after you have had breakfast, and that will help with that cortisol response. You could have it with breakfast, okay? Just make sure you have some bites of food before you start sipping on the coffee. Okay, teas that are okay though would be rooibos. I never know if I'm saying that right. Rooibos, Rooibos,
I think
however you
that
say
sounds
that.
an herbal non-caffeinated tea.
Yeah, so it's naturally sweet. There's no caffeine in it. It's a low oxalate tea. Chamomile tea is okay. Peppermint tea, and then again, plain black coffee would be okay. But the real treat, if we're talking about drinks, the real treat is going to be the Ningxia Red. I don't know about those of you who've done a reset before. Like, I just get so excited that I'm getting to drink so much Ningxia, because usually I limit myself to 2 to 4 ounces a day. But those first 3 days of the reset, man, it's like 12 ounces of Ningxia, and I'm just loving it.
12 ounces for the first 3 days of the reset. And then the last 11 days, you still are drinking 6 ounces a day. So I would, if you have not been a Ningxia Red drinker, I would start before the reset, just getting your body used to that. But not to be afraid of it. If you end up doing all 12 ounces on your first 3 days, maybe spread out throughout the days. We go into some of that in our reset group because we really want you to feel supported and not like you have any big surprises. But the reason Ningxia Red becomes such an important part of this for the metabolic reset, for the reasons Andrea stated, right? It tastes good. It's the low glycemic stevia. It's a little bit of a sweet treat. In fact, I'm having mine this afternoon with a little bit of sparkling water. That's one of the ways I've started to enjoy it as like a mocktail. It doesn't have caffeine, so it's a nice afternoon treat. I will say that's something else that's changed for me with being more sleep productive. I've stopped drinking caffeine after 10 a.m. or noon if I can help it. So just being really conscious of that to protect my sleep window. Not having caffeine after noon. But metabolic dysfunction is associated with oxidative stress and impaired cellular signaling. So Ningxia Red, as we mentioned earlier, provides polyphenols, whole fruit antioxidants, and micronutrients. And then Balance and Burn is going to add in that berberine, polyphenol complexes, and Akkermansia target ingredients that support gut integrity and metabolic markers. So just for sharing, the daily Ningxia Red as a foundational nutritional support is used extensively within the 14-day reset. So just to circle back, if this isn't a product that you're familiar with, in a clinical study of 160 adults, drinking 2 ounces of Ningxia Red daily for 30 to 60 days led to 35% increase in energy levels, 23% reduction in daily stress, improved sleep quality, enhanced focus and cognitive well-being, reduced physical inflammation and limitations, and had a stronger overall immune health. So this makes it a really easy and effective addition to the reset, supporting your body every step of the way.
Okay, so let's talk about emotions when we change our eating, because I think so many times our emotions are so wrapped up, or our eating habits are so wrapped up in our emotions, right? So when we start to change some of our food habits, it can bring up emotions. It says weight loss and metabolic healing aren't just physical, they're deeply emotional, even spiritual. Many of us are walking around with years of shame, trauma, coping mechanisms, and self-belief tied up in food, weight, and energy. So there's 3 oils that we're recommending that you have around. Maybe choose the one that you like the most and use it during the reset. So Valor. Valor is for courage and grounding. You can rub it over your heart or wrists when you're feeling emotionally wobbly or discouraged. Release, to let go of old patterns. Apply it over your liver or inhale deeply when you're feeling stuck, resentful, or overwhelmed. And Joy, to reconnect to your why. Swipe it over your heart or wear it as perfume when you want to lift your mood and your mindset. So when we change what we eat, it's normal for our emotions to rise. Some days you might feel on top of the world and empowered, and others you might feel raw and resistant and even angry. Let it come, let it pass, let the oils support you in the process, and let it teach you something about yourself. So let's talk about moving. Ange?
Well, last year, many of you, I recognize a lot of names and faces on tonight's call, and a lot of you participated in our monthly month-over-month movement challenge called Make a Move. You may still be in that Facebook group, and if you are, there's already some really great strategies in that group that you can go back to really focus your energy for these 14 days on the things that will move the needle. Remember that that movement increases insulin sensitivity by allowing muscle tissue to uptake glucose directly. So when you combine this with protein-forward meals, reduced refined carbohydrates, Ningxia Red, and the Balance and Burn glucose regulating ingredients, you create multi-layer metabolic support. This isn't just like a single lever approach. And again, I keep referencing back, Andrea's been cheering me on for a year because I've been really stuck at a particular weight that I could not budge. And I was really frustrated about it. And so I thought, well, gosh, if I do 45-minute workouts 4 times a week, which was more than I'd been doing before, then I'll have more success. And instead, it drove my cortisol up because I wasn't pairing it with the right eating plan for myself. So this is layered physiology. And now I'm actually doing lifting 3 days a week for about 20 minutes at a time and making sure I'm walking at least 30 to 45 minutes a day and the weight is coming off. So I just want you to hear that it's not more, it's not heavier, it's not extra. It's just finding that just right that your body needs, signaling to your body to relax, your cortisol levels to relax, and know that you are getting stronger. So a couple of tips that may make your walks more effective. Aim for consistency over speed. Add some hills or inclines if you can. I don't have any right here. I mean, once a week probably I hike, but most of the time I'm walking on flat land. The recommendation is to use a weighted vest. I tried one. I felt like it dug into my shoulders, if I'm being completely honest, and I sent it back. So that's not for me, but that doesn't mean it can't be for you. Focus on your posture. So how are your shoulders back, your head up, and your core engaged? And just a little spiritual practice in here. There's something really beautiful about connecting with nature. So even though it's a great excuse to listen to, or talk to a friend or listen to something on your ears, also make sure you're observing and being in wonder and awe of God's creation while you're outside in nature, taking in all the things that are around you. And I think you'll find a much more joyous walk. Try interval walking, going a little bit faster, then a little bit slower, a little bit faster, a little bit slower. You can walk with intention and mindfulness, like I just said, and also remember to stay hydrated, drinking water before and after your walk to stay refreshed. And here in the desert, like we don't leave home without a water bottle. So make sure you have that along as well.
Okay, so let's talk about some tips for starting this with success. So first thing I'd recommend is a refrigerator clean out. So if you have a lot of junk in the home, you might want to do some throwing or hide it or give it to your kids and tell them to go hide it in the room. I don't know, whatever you know you need to take any temptations away as you're working on this reset. The other thing, mindset wise, is to remember this is for a time. Instead of seeing this eating plan as restrictive or limiting or I can't eat anything, refocus your mind around that you are taking care of yourself. This is actually you doing healing. So these foods are going to nourish. You're going to find that with the Ningxia Red and the eating this way that you feel satisfied. You might fight it internally, you might fight it the first couple of days, but you will settle into it and you will find that it's really nourishing and you're enjoying the food that you're eating. There is a primal food guide that you can download. If you download the Life Steps app on your phone, it's called Life Steps. It's green and the little logo is green and white. And then once you've downloaded that app, if you just go and you search for metabolic, what is it? Metabolic Reset Guide. Metabolic Reset Guide, I think is what it's called. And within that guide, you're going to see one page that is fully about the primal eating. There's a list for you there. So you can print that off. If you are in our organization and you get into our little group thread on Facebook, we will also be posting the food list and we'll be doing, daily encouragement during the reset. We can all support each other in that way as well. Ningxia Red. So remember to grab your Ningxia Red. The reset kit is the best way to do that. It's actually the best way to get Ningxia anytime as well, because it is the best price point of any way that they sell Ningxia Red. And then also, I'm doing this for you, Lucinda, so listen up. I know you joined late and you wanted to hear this. Okay. I'm just going to go over the 3 types of people again. Okay. There's some of you who don't necessarily need to lose weight, but you just haven't been living really healthy. And you're like, I need a reset to just refocus me on healthy eating. Okay. And movement and those things. And I want to do it in community. So this metabolic reset would be a great thing for you to do just to get you back on that path. Okay. Second kind of person is the person who's like, I actually do need to lose weight. And I know that I can lose weight. If I dial things in, I lose weight and I'm good. So once again, this metabolic reset with the Ningxia Red and the eating plan and the movement is going to be great for you. And I can almost guarantee, there's always an exception, but I can almost guarantee that you will see the numbers on the scale change doing this eating plan if you stick to it and you do your movement daily. All right. The third type of person is the person who's like, I've tried everything, nothing shifts anything. And you need extra help. You need extra support. You might be in perimenopause. You might be in menopause and you're like, please help me. Like I'm barely eating anything and nothing is moving. So for you, I would say definitely do the balance and burn if you haven't already started that. And let's pair it with this eating plan. Depending on your budget, if you can, I would also add in the Ningxia Red because there's so many benefits to this whole food nutrient that it's always Ningxia is always a yes, right? If you can do balance and burn and Ningxia as well, do both. If you can't, then do the balance and burn and pair it with this primal eating. I would encourage you to add in, if you're not going to do the Ningxia Red, I would at least encourage you to add in some berries, even though it's not part of the primal eating, just so you're getting a little bit of extra fiber in your day. So maybe 1 or 2 meals a day, have a handful of some blackberries or some raspberries. I think raspberries are the highest fiber of all of the berries. Maybe some blueberries. Okay. And yeah, so that's kind of, you're kind of like choose your own adventure here. All right, Ange?
I want to just again talk about balance and burn. This is Jerry, my husband, in December on the left side and in January on the right side. You can see the difference in his face. This was actually from Maui. We were cooking in our room, protein forward. Breakfast usually looks like an egg. Fried egg doesn't take very long. We'll add some cottage cheese to it, a couple of the chicken sausage, and that can get heated in the air fryer, and we're good to go. Also, you can see the difference in how it's a different shirt, but his shirts are fitting differently. His pants, he's down a belt buckle. And I thought it was really important to show some of the recent results that we polled our group about after their first 30 days. 55% are noticing body composition changes and reduced cravings. Increased energy has been reported. Actual weight loss has been reported as well. More stable appetites, less inflammation, improved digestion, better mood, and better sleep, mental clarity, more calm, and also better blood sugar stability. So that was out of 47 of our first 150 that are using it with their results so far. So we still have that going in our balance and burn group. Make sure you have filled it out, either the intake form and also the progress form, so that we can add your results to our testimonial list.
And I do want to say this, that the body heals in different stages and everybody is different. And so I'm thinking of one participant with Balance and Burn in particular on our team. I'll say her name because she's been sharing all of this publicly. Sarah Wells, she was very frustrated the first month of being on Balance and Burn because she wasn't really seeing anything change. In fact, felt like things were going the other direction. She was bloated. She just was not feeling great with it, but it was doing something. And after that first month, she started to drop pounds and she's feeling better. Each of her last couple of posts that she'd done on social media, she's been really excited. She's seeing inches, she's seeing weight reduction. And so sometimes just because it has to get through layers, right? There's layers of healing. Sometimes you're not going to see things budge right away on the scale, but things are happening. And Nan, good point in the comments. Nan said, or you can just drink 1 to 2 ounces of Ningxia a day with Balance and Burn, right? Yeah, such a good reminder that you don't. It's not you do the reset Ningxia or you don't do any Ningxia at all. You could obviously just add in an ounce or two a day. That reset kit is still the best way if you're going to do it that way as well.
And both the Balance and Burn and that loyalty and the Make a Shift reset kit are both available on Loyalty Rewards. So you earn yourself some extra points toward free product, as well as bonuses through the promos this month. Fennel at the 100 PV level, Juvaflex for liver support at the 200 PV level, and then Essential Zymes 4 at the 300 PV level, all very impactful for your body's wellness, overall wellness. You can learn more about that in our lifestyle group as well. I do want to invite you all to the next Balance and Burn call that's coming up after this from Team YL. We've posted it a lot of places, Andrea. I don't know if you still have the link handy that you could put it in the chat for those people who are listening live. I don't know where it is at the moment.
I'm gonna look for it. Yep.
Okay,
Let's
but
grab it.
that's happening tonight in 20 minutes, so you can jump on there. Also, March 18th, we'll be teaching a testimonial class. Testimonial calls are not recorded, y'all, because we talk about the real results that we're experiencing, and some of those things are beyond what would be considered compliant for public-facing information. So we actually don't record those for your safety as well as ours. But we're super glad that you joined us tonight. I want you to think about where, if you were to start with us on March 9th, right after all learning all of this tonight, what would you, how would you feel different 3 weeks from now? Would you feel clearer, lighter, more in rhythm or harmony with your body rather than fighting against it? Because you're partnering with your body, not punishing your body. That's our goal, is to help you create that healthy relationship moving forward. And Andrea found it, and
I put it in. Nan, it's right above you. I mean, it's right above your comment.
yep. So you can jump on. It's a Zoom link. We've posted it in our groups as well. If you want to just grab it from here and then head over, they'll have a waiting room set up until they start. But do enjoy learning from other people in Team YL. This has been such an exciting launch of a new product. So many people experiencing results, especially when it comes to, I think one of the things that made it a lot easier, I think after doing the metabolic reset in November, Andrea, was layering in that balance and burn to reduce those cravings drastically.
Right.
Literally my best go-to snack now, dates, like non-pitted dates, two a day.
Wow. Wow,
That's
Anne.
my chocolate cake. That's
That's
my
awesome.
chocolate cake now.
Okay, and just a reminder, if you are going to participate with us, either combining balance and burn with the primal eating or doing the reset with the primal eating, do let us know, one of us know, so we can get you into our thread for that layer of support.
All right, have a good